and I want to make sure there's a float. I'm not sure this is actually 100% necessary, but I just tend to do it. And I want to add the Bezier float to the available track. So now what we've got is we've got two controllers controlling each track. What this is good for now is that we're going to drive them all up on the first controller, and then we're going to control which one is actually seen by driving down on the side-to-side action on the x-axis of the control, the second controller in any given one. So we can, although the first controller on the first three, let's say, on the up, brow up, will actually be at 100, these ones may be at negative 100 values, pulling the values back down again. I'm just going to minimize that track view there, and I'll get into showing you what I mean by this. Let's go to the reaction manager again. I'm going to say show selected, which is going to show nothing. Don't need my curves at the bottom. And let's add both of the X position and the, oops, didn't want that, the Y position. So we've got our two drivers in here. And now what we need to do is we need to add what we're going to control in each of them. And for essentially all of them are going to be the same. We're going to add all of them to both of them so we know what's going on. It's just sort of easier that way. I wish there was a bit of easier way to add multiple targets. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take, in this case, oh sorry, we should be on the Y here. Let's do the up and down first. So Y is the up and down. So that's going to be brow up and brow down essentially. So let's do the Y first. So back into, and there's the brow up one, and there is the Bezier float, the first one in the list. I'm going to take each of the first ones in the list and add them all first, and they're going to be our overall drivers up and down, and then we're going to add the ones that are going to countermand those into the x-axis. So I'm going to add all the first ones here. And float. And the third one. Fourth, and I guess I really should have written a script for this and shown you how to do that, because quite frankly that's how I would have gone about doing it all. Whenever possible, mundane tasks, learn to write the code for it. Your first time writing the code might take you longer than just going ahead and doing it, but if you can, it is the best way to go about doing it. Now I'm going to go and clean out all the extra states, because each time you add one, it adds a state for it. So I'm just going to clean them all out. With the Y selected and this state currently selected, I'm going to click on the button here that's got the plus sign beside it, and what it'll do is it'll add all of the slave tracks into the state. And there we go, we've got them all on one now. Now what we need to do is we need to do the same thing with the X. We're going to pick all the second tracks for these. Since I mentioned it, I figured I should actually add the other reactions to Reaction Manager for this control via script, and make it real easy that way. We already have the master in here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop open Mac script. We can actually use it for when we set up the other side anyways. We want to loop through several controllers on the morpher modifier and add them all at once. So we need a for loop to start with. Now, how many iterations that's going to move through, we need to know. So I'm just going to go down, pick the main object here, go down to morpher, and find the brow up, and that starts at number 13 down to number 18. So we're going to say for, we'll use I equals 13 to 18 do. And of course that will make I equal to 13, the number 13